Okay, good morning, everyone. Respect the lecturer assistant, lecturer, and fellow friends. My name is Koran Dimashena, broadly representing Institute Technology Baran. Today, I'm thrilled to walk you through my machine learning practicum project. In this presentation, we will dive deep into two major branches of machine learning: deep learning, specifically multi-layer perception, and reinforcement learning, especially the Q-learning algorithm. I have divided this presentation into two main parts corresponding to the two Python files I have submitted. Let's begin with the first part, the neural network for classifying heart disease. Okay, for the first task, we have instructed to perform classification. I choose the synthetic heart disease dataset. The dataset is robust, consisting of 15 5,000 records and 20 feature columns such as height, BMI, blood pressure, and cholesterol level, with one target column determining whether a patient has a disease or not. However, to ensure that our hyperparameter turning process returns efficiently without causing memory overload on standard machine, I implemented the data sampling technique right at the beginning of the code. I extract of 2000 random sample using the sample function from the pandas library with a specific random state to ensure reproducibility. Before feeding data into a neural network, we must understand it in my exploration. Wait, data analysis or EDA, I plot the distribution of the target class using Seaborn's count plot. The data is relatively balanced, which is great because it means we don't need to use synthetic balancing technique like smooth. I also visualized the relationship between X and heart disease using a stack histogram, clearly showing that the risk of heart disease increased significantly as X progress. The next data is processing stage. Which is arguably the most critical part of any deep learning pipeline. During my analysis, I found that the alcohol intake column contained missing value because it's critical data. I could use mean or median imputation. Instead, I use mode imputation, filling the missing value with the most frequently occurring category in that column using the fill name method. Then reverse compatibility is a neural network only understand number, but our dataset has categorical text column like gender, smoking status, and diet. To solve this, I applied the one hot encoding using the pd.get dummies here function. This converted our text category into binary numeric matrix, allowing the model to process them. Okay, after splitting the data, 17,000 for training and 13% for testing using Train data split apply standard color. Why is standardizing data so important here? In a dataset, age may range from 12 to 18, while total cholesterol can reach up to 300. If you don't scale this feature, the neural network's gradient descent will be heavily skewed by the larger number, causing the model to struggle to convert standard scalar. Forces all features to have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1, creating an equal playing field for variables. Now let's talk about the brain of our operation, the multiplier perception or MLP classifier. I built the architecture strictly following the practicum instruction. The input layer automatic take out process feature for the hidden layer. I configured the three layer with here. You might can wonder why this string in this final steps is deliberate architectural choice. It first to network to compress information, discarding irrelevant noise and extracting only the most critical high-level filter before making a final decision to output layer. Okay, in the end, evaluation like here to get a deeper understanding, I generate this confusion metric using Seaborn, the top left quadrants of the true negative patient correctly predicted as healthy, the bottom right south true positive patient correctly identified as having heart disease in the medical dataset, minimizing false negative, which means predicting a sick person is healthy is crucial, and our classification re- report shows a solid recall score indicating the model is highly sensitive in detecting the disease. And for the next one is the concludes the deep learning portion. Now let's safeguards and reload and move to the second file of the practicum performance learning, especially the Q learning algorithm. The environment for this task is 4 by 4 grid, which means we have 16 distinct states starting from the state 0 at the top left to our goal state to 15 in the bottom right. The agent can take 4 possible action: move up, down, left, or right. At the heart of this line is the Q table of matrix 16 rows and 4 columns. Initially, the entire table is filled with zero. This zero in lesson in philosophy important is respected the agent acting as tabula rasa of blank state. Okay, when the agent move, the environment is return a reward. It get a penalty of min 1 for every step it takes, which is forces it to define the search route, and a massive 100 reward when it reaches the goal state using the Bellman equation. The agent calculates the temporal difference and updates the specific cell in the queue table. The episode terminates immediately the moment the again hit the goal state. We must stop it there because the objective is fulfilled. Letting it wander around the goal will corrupt the mathematical value in the table. Okay, after 1,000 episodes, the agent becomes incredibly smart, but how do we prove that visually? In the final part of my code, I extract the maximum key value for each the 16 strap and plot them using a Seaborn heat map. Look closely of this color gradient. The cells Immediately adjust the goals that have the highest numerical values denoted by the warm red color. As we move further away from the goal back to the starting point, the value gradually decrease, shown by the cooler blue colors. This happened because of the 0 15 discount factor we said earlier. Step the agent takes away from the goal the expected future reward. This beautiful gradient essentially creates an artificial gravity fall. It proves without a doubt that the agent has successfully learned the optimal policy to reach the goal from anywhere the board. The agent simply needs to step into the agent till that has a high number. In conclusion, through these two practicum tests, we have seen how multi-layer perception can effectively learn nonlinear pattern to classify medical data using gesture optimization and how key learning enables autonomous agent to master an environment through strategy reward maximization. That brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope this detailed walkthrough of the code and the underlying theory has been clear and insightful. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I will now open to any question you might have.